Hello, everyone. Welcome to another installment of Erin's Book Club. I finally have a few moments to go through another book that I've read, and I'm so lucky because now I've read two five-star books in a row, which a five-star book for me is like maybe one a year. So in January, well, it's February 1st now, but I finished it yesterday. So in January, I have two five-star books in a row. So the book review I have to do today is Valdemar, written by Mercedes Lackey. And this is the third book in the Founding of Valdemar series. And my gosh, what a great book. First of all, love the title or the cover. Cover is amazing. Second of all, the companions, so the horses that join the Valmar's people, um, did not happen. Woo! So that, just so you know, is him. I have you propped on the blankets, and he knocked you over. So that's what you're getting for that. Anyway, the companions, which is the main part of the Valdemar series, did not happen the way that I thought for sure was going to happen. I thought that the wind elementals, the ones that have been forced into the dolls for the second book, by the way, spoilers in this review. I never ever do a spoiler-free review, so spoilers in this review. Anyway, so I thought that the wind elementals, the ones that were put into the dolls in the second and first book, would be the ones that kind of got created into the companions. And boy, was I totally not at all on the right track. The fact that the companions were a gift from their gods only because the king asked the correct question totally took me for granted. Like, it totally took me by surprise. What I also want to say is the pets in this series, and especially in this book, are given a heart and a soul, and they're part of the family, and they're given consideration by the king as members of the family. And it's so nice to see them not just be these throwaway animals. Now, there was a particular cat named Sydney that was in the first book. You fell in love with him in the first book. You continued to fall in love with him in the second book. And then I don't know how I feel about his death in the third book, because like some cats, he ended up wandering off in his old age and a body was never found, but he never came back, so they assumed he was dead. And the way the author wrote the heartbreak of that, this really powerful mage who owned Sydney was devastated by his loss of this cat. The way she wrote that was soul searching. She knew this pain, and I know this pain. I was very lucky in that moment. Like all of my animals, when it was time to say goodbye, I was able to go and put them down, and I knew where the bodies were. But the agony of not knowing for sure what happened to him, he just doesn't come back, and the validation of feeling the way he felt of the king, to the point where they added this cat to their coat of arms, it just felt good. I'm ugly crying about the loss of this cat in the book, but it still felt healing. That alone made the book a five-star book for me. And the enemy at the end of the book, the enemy they finally fight, the actual fight, as short as it was, felt like the wait was worth it. The only critique that I have is the two cursed life bonded people, who in the end, because they both stayed to fight the army, and therefore did that one selfless act, and the curse was lifted, and they got their companions at the same time. I saw all that coming. I saw all of that coming from the moment that these two characters were mentioned. I I feel as though another kind of curse could have worked a bit better, because knowing this author, and again, this is not a book, not one of her first books, so I've read many of her books. Knowing this author and the way she writes, the whole curse thing was totally predictable. Well written, you still felt for them, but it was almost felt as though they were just kind of thrown in the middle of a battle to add something more to a battle. Predictable, you saw it coming a mile away. Other than that, though, such a good book. The amount of character growth, the amount of heart, the amount of feeling, the realness of the world, the realness of the characters, just so well done. I'm definitely going to look into any more of her books in any topic, but mostly no, not even mostly, because there's Griffin books too that I really enjoy. Any of them. The Bond Birds, I would love to read more about. This author is the equivalent auto-buy that Stephen King is for me for the fantasy genre. She is my auto-buy favorite author in fantasy. But anyway, I will let you know when I have another book read, and thanks you for listening to me natter. By the way, where did he go? There he is. One sec, guys. This cute face is the cause of all the trouble. He's the one that was hiding in the blankets, and he just wants to play with his brother. But he's the one that's the difficult one. This is Satchel. He's 11. He's a Maine Coon. Therefore, he's big. And he's tolerant. Anyway, I will let you guys know when I have another book read. Thanks, guys.